Hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream event. Thank you for taking this opportunity to join us from across the globe. Folks from all parts of the world are tuning in, including UAE, Slovenia, and other parts of Europe, and all parts of the US. I see Ann Arbor, Michigan, and LA, San Francisco. So nice to see you all. For those of you who are new, my name is Crystal. I'm with Ascension One Collective, the foundation that supports the work of the channel. I'm here today to guide you into and out of the session. We've been offering these bi-weekly live streams to deepen our practice at home. In last week's session, we explored the magnificence of you. This week, we're exploring faith and trust. As always, we have some newcomers, so I'm going to share a little bit to give those folks context for the work. Aseel studied with various spiritual traditions over the last 18 years. 5 years ago, he had a strong spiritual experience that opened up this connection that today we refer to as the channel. This is a connection to both powerful energy and wisdom that during the sessions he will embody and bring through. Through this connection, energy will come through him and reach all of those who are tuning into the live stream. This energy will allow you to go deeper in your meditation, as well as receive information, which will often take the form of a spoken transmission, or in your own way, visions, messages, or an inner knowing. The process for Aseel to get into trance includes spontaneous movements of his body and hands, sometimes shaking of his body, fast breathing as the energy level rises. Sometimes his eyes will roll upwards. It may not seem it, but it's all normal. His everyday human consciousness is still available to him while he's channeling, and he can stop the embodiment at any time. The channel will bring through guides that will specifically introduce themselves with the names humanity has given them. You may recognize some of the names as angels or archangels, but they never refer to themselves as such. Once the energy field is established, then an energetic alignment begins. People report having powerful experiences even over live stream. So it's really easy. During this time, sit back and focus on being in an open, meditative state. Just by being receptive, you've included yourself in this energy field, so there's nothing else that you need to do. During the session, you may also bring a loved one into your mind and heart to have them receive the benefits as well. You can set an intention. You can release any old wounds, thoughts, emotions that no longer serve you. People share often that things come to them even in the absence of an intention. So flow with that also, and just accept all that arises. Once the energy alignment is complete, Aseel will embody another celestial being who will usually allow for questions to be asked. This is typically who we call Emmanuel. If you'd like to ask a question, feel free to type it into the Questions tab at the bottom of the screen in Crowdcast. The production team will then choose a few questions to ask the channel from the list. Keep in mind that there are a few hundred people watching this right now, so center yourself before you ask the question and ask yourself, what's the best way to ask this question that would serve the most people? We've found that Emmanuel's answers are typically phrased in a way that serves the greater good, so if you're looking for a personal answer, the answer may not align with your expectation. The energy field pulls us into an interesting collective state, so you may find that if you have a question in your mind, you receive the answer in someone else's question or silently inside yourself. We have a Crowdcast poll running at the Polls tab in the bottom of the screen. We'd like to know how this work impacts you. It's one question at the beginning, how are you doing before the session, and one after the session. With a simple scale from 1 to 5, it's very easy to answer. Please take a second and let us know how you're doing right now. For people who can offer a donation, it not only supports Aseel, but it supports the whole production team. Many of you donated to the last session and donated already to this one. It's truly appreciated, and it really helps us keep this work accessible. We have links to the donation options in the chats. We invite you to listen with an open mind and an open heart. We recommend that you listen in a space where you can't be interrupted and you turn your phone off. We also recommend that you stay tuned in through the entire session. You will know when we're moving from one part to the next. If you're in a deep meditative state at the end of the energy transmission, it's okay if you can't hang on to every word thereafter. The benefit of staying with us is what's most important, and the words can be replayed and read later. We are recording the audio and video, and will provide the video and transcript following the event on our website and social media pages. As the session ends, we will sit together in silence for a few minutes and give you all enough time to come back into this state of awareness. Enjoy your journey. I'll see you back here upon your return.
Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. I know that some of you have tuned in the middle of the night. I've heard stories of people waking up even without the alarm and just being ready to be part of this. For all of you that have just joined in, just discovered this work, welcome. It's good to see you. It's good to have you here. We call this a transmission because there is a lot that's being transmitted in this work. There's a lot that's being received. And in this reception and transmission, there is energy, there are words, and there is adjustments. These adjustments or alignment work is a form of simplified energy healing. An alignment that impacts the energy body, and from there it impacts the emotional, the mental, and the physical body as well. Now you may see me as the one that is the vessel working on things. In this case, it's you or the group or the greater group. And these adjustments address misalignments that we as human beings accumulate over time. Misalignments in thoughts, in emotions, in actions. Misalignments through the ways we have not taken good care of ourselves. And it seems that the channeled beings know what those misalignments are and how to get them back into alignment. Now, I can't promise that all of the things in your life will be fixed in one alignment, but it certainly is a step forward. A step forward into a deeper alignment, which then results into a deeper presence, which hopefully results in a better life. Now, all the movements that you will see are autonomous. I have no conscious directing of these movements of my body. It is almost like I am under a waterfall of electricity and light, and that electricity has its own intelligence in the way it needs to move. Similarly with the words that are coming through, I rarely remember what was said in the channeling, which is why I read the transcripts afterwards, like you, maybe. And it's fascinating to me. I don't even know what the sentence is going to be when the words start coming out. It does not seem to be coming out of my mind. It seems to be coming from somewhere else. So just as As much it may be awkward to you, it is awkward to me as well. So we're in the same boat. But we're just rolling with this and seeing where it takes us. This is when today's topic comes into place. Trust and faith. I had to do a lot of trusting in my life to get to this place. And I'm sure you have had to do a lot of trusting in your life to get to where you are. So let's see what the channel has to say about this topic. Let's see what kind of alignments will be done today. Receive it with an open heart, with an open mind. It comes from the purest and some of the most powerful place I know in the universe. And I hope it brings much light and joy and love into your life. Thank you for joining. Greetings, I'm Raphael. The developments of your life, of this lifetime, have brought you to become the person that you are today. At every step of the way, in every moment, you have learned to trust or not to trust the moment. Some of these moments are established in a conscious way, where trust becomes an important decision, to an unfolding of this moment. In certain moments, trust will be established unconsciously or automatically based on previous or past experiences. This programming, this establishment of trusting life as it unfolds, is an aspect of your being. In its most fundamental way, it is the way your body and your mental, emotional complex take care of your survival. Furthermore expanded, the sensations and the sense of survival expands into comfort and discomfort, pain and ease. Trust becomes associated with experiences that will bring forth ease and comfort. Mistrust will be associated with experiences that will bring forth discomfort and pain. This programming of your being becomes solidified and rigid as you become older. It becomes harder to trust in relationships. It becomes harder to trust yourself, displaying your confidence and esteem. It becomes harder to trust life itself, existence. Yet all along, you have been here, breathing, operating in this reality, alive, despite all the difficult experiences you have had. Those that have trusted, those that have not trusted, all have had experiences that were comfortable and uncomfortable. Trust becomes a measure of navigating this reality, and this measure is entirely in your hands. With every step that you take to a deeper level of allowing yourself to receive the very moment you trust slightly more. You trust yourself, you trust others, you trust nature, you trust existence. You trust this creation to support you on your path. And truly, this trust will sometimes be rewarded and sometimes tested. How deep does your trust go? What conditions have you established for your trust? What perspectives are you expecting with the trust that you display? In this exploration itself, you learn and you realize your relationship with this mechanism of trust. This mechanism ties into your ability to surrender. Trust is indeed the key to unlock your ability to surrender. When you trust, your mind, your heart, and your body relax. Your consciousness expands. An immediate message to your entire being is delivered. It is safe to live. It is safe to be alive. It is safe to be loved. As you can see, trust is beyond the very moment. It will impact your entire life from the beginning until the very end. Faith is the way humanity established trust beyond rational reasons, beyond emotional reasons, beyond conditioning. Faith becomes a deeper level of trust. For faith to be present in your life, no other structures are required. It is indeed your relationship with all of existence, the deepest level of trust in human form. Your faith in existence, your faith in yourself, your faith that this life that you live is the life that you deserve and receive as a gift. With gratitude, you embrace this life. When you understand the power that lies within these two words, you will start to unlock important aspects of life itself, of love itself. Most importantly, your relationship with yourself will transform. And as you transform your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others will as well. Your relationship with humanity will change as well. This is my message to you. Receive this work with trust and an open heart. Thank you for receiving this work. My work is complete. Greetings. My name is Emmanuel. You have received this work as you have proclaimed to be ready for change, for alignment, for adjustment, for growth and expansion. Change requires your readiness, your willingness, and your trust. Trusting that the unknown will provide for an expansion and growth. Trusting that the uncertain of the future will allow for the continuation of your life and allow for a deepening of your experience of life. This is the power that lies within you to choose change, to choose expansion, to choose trust. When you proclaim you have no choice, that is the way you have established your reality. You become the barrier of the choices that are in front of you, seemingly out of reach, unrealistic, implausible, irrational, yet still a choice. Will you trust the unknown to guide you? Will you trust the uncertain? Will you release your expectations that potentially there is an even better version of your expectations that your imagination and thoughts have not contemplated? In this sense, trusting life, trusting existence, will provide an even more expanded potential and expanded possibilities for you. Possibilities that have not been considered with the mind, possibilities that have not been seen as plausible and acceptable by the heart. possibilities beyond any reality that was handed to you as a perspective of the past generations. Will you allow yourself to expand beyond the past generations and the past moments of your own life? These are questions for you to contemplate, to consider and reflect on. You will always have the choice to trust or not. Life may even consider this choice of yours. Some experiences will occur in your life beyond your ability to omit and suppress, to run and hide. What if you could surrender and receive the experiences as they come, trusting that they serve an important purpose, trusting that there is a deeper truth and deeper learning, a deeper realization within the experience to occur? Allowing life to unfold, directing yourself with peace and an alignment within, an alignment that allows for the possibilities to arise. This is my message to you. May you consider and understand, reflect in the ways and trust has established within yourself. Faith in life has established within yourself. Faith in yourself will be fueled by your trust and your faith in all of existence. Thank you for listening to my words. I will now answer some of your questions.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Karis asks, "Greetings, Emmanuel. When in a tricky situation where faith and trust are truly being tested, how do we know whether we follow the rational workings of the mind or the impulse of the heart? Thank you."
The body, the mind, and the heart carry intelligence to provide information to come to a conclusion of trust. It is not a question of whether one over the other. It is a combination of all that is within you, an internal alignment to listen to all parts of yourself, understand the way a certain choice, a certain direction is formed within your being. Which emotions drive you towards an experience, and which emotions drive you away from this experience? Which thoughts and imaginary scenarios drive you towards an experience, and which drive you away? This reflection will allow you to understand the way you operate, the way you have been established as an individual, observing, acting and reacting to your reality. My recommendation to you is to come to moments of silence similar to this. The situation of question will no longer be relevant in this very moment. You will release any intention, any question, any answer, and any action that needs to be taken, so that you can become present right now with all possibilities. A deeper part of yourself will start to speak to you. A part that is neither your mind, nor your heart, nor your body. Your essence will direct the path forward. And the path forward will be one step at a time, one moment in deep presence at a time. This is the way my recommendation is to you. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Edward asks, what part do faith and trust have specifically when it comes to the spiritual path one is following? Is it essential to trust unwaveringly?
The matter is not whether to trust or not to trust. It is a matter of understanding the many layers and considerations, the conditions that you have established to trust someone or something. To understand closer and deeper your inner workings, to understand in which ways you can trust slightly more, without force, but with ease, without willpower, but naturally. Understanding that within yourself, intrinsically, there is an alignment that will provide resonance to anything that is in front of you. This resonance will be your guiding force. It is not the mind that will force upon a trust. It is not the heart that will enforce trust. It is this alignment of resonance. That's the way you will establish yourself with all moments to come. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Carlos asks, as gay and LGBTQ people, what is our part in the process of ascension? Are we ascending as well as heterosexual people?
No gender, no color, no ethnicity, no sexuality defines your ascension process. The aspects of this ascension process is determined by your ability to realize the elements of your existence, the aspects of your identity beyond your human identity, the understanding that you are more than your body, your mind, or your heart, understanding that you are not separate but united within a collective. All of these realizations that are part of the self-realization journey are key to allow for the ascension process to complete for an individual as well as for the human collective. The expression and the manifestation of gender, color, sexuality, ethnicity is therefore not a determining factor of one's ascension process, but merely an additional aspect of one's joyful journey and exploration of the human life. Some of these journeys indeed carry difficulty, challenges, oppression, abuse. And this as well as part of the awakening process of humanity. Understanding the differentiating aspects of your being are the aspects that also bring you together to realization, to knowing and understanding that you are no different than the other in human form. As a human collective, thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Joe asks, how do we most meaningfully develop an unconditional trust in ourselves?
The trust in yourself develops over time as you start to understand and observe in all the ways that life has mistreated you, that others have mistreated you, which in return has developed into a mistrust of others and of life, which in return has created a level of mistrust of self. This journey to separation, to distance, to protection is an important journey to be had. The journey even more important is the journey breaking through the constructs of mistrust that have been established in your life, in the lives of those that have lived before you, and in your lives that you have lived before this one. Dismantling all the ways beliefs and perspectives have shaped your mistrust in existence, your mistrust in love, and your mistrust in yourself. One step at a time, you will allow yourself to trust even more. You will start to explore and understand in the ways mistrust operates automatically, unconsciously, and continuously in your life, disguised as judgment, disguised as entitlement, disguised as protective measure. One step at a time, you will observe these judgments and opinions that arise. You will see how your environment will test you. Do you trust? How far do you trust? Will your trust be broken? Will your trust be rewarded? That remains to be seen. Yet one thing will become clear. The more you trust outside, the more you will start to trust yourself. And with every step, an important step for your self-realization journey will be established. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Janet asks, if there's no time, why is there ascension and evolution? Are we not trying to get from a point in consciousness now to another point in the future?
You operate within a construct that includes the space and time. This space-time construct provides for an experience of the human form, provides for evolution of consciousness on this linear path. Evolution, awakening, ascension happen, therefore, in your experience within this space-time construct. From our perspective, evolution and expansion happens beyond the space and time construct. For you to move from this reality that includes the space-time construct to a higher reality without the space-time construct in non-material form, humanity must go through the ascension process. This is part of your evolution. This is part of the necessary steps that must be taken to disconnect from this dimension that is established to provide this particular human experience in this format. The new plane that is established for your experience in a higher dimension will provide an experience that is beyond space and time, and evolution will be observed in a different way on that plane of existence. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Martha asks, I am walking through a prolonged period of great challenge with my adult daughter, and I'm struggling to trust myself to know the best way to assist her and to recognize I have done all I can do. What does surrender look like for me here?
You have indeed done everything you can. Yet one aspect still remains to be explored in deeper context. This is the love that you have for yourself, the compassion with which you hold yourself, the unconditional love of creation that holds you in your experience. This is the last aspect to fully surrender. This experience with your daughter is not about her. This experience is for you to find a deeper love for yourself. With this discovery, you will become even more present for her. No matter the choices, no matter the experiences that she seeks, you will always be present for her with love, compassion, and presence. It is the sacred interplay that humans seek in their experiences with other humans, especially members of the family. This sacred interplay defines important aspects of life, defines important aspects of identity. And you have done your part to play this role. Now it is time for you to embrace the unconditional love of creation, to become present with this eternal, all-encompassing and infinite source of love. For you to represent this unconditional love for her and with her, most importantly, with yourself in all the ways that you perceive. You have failed as a mother. You have failed her. Feel the emotions and let the emotions move through you. Be present as these aspects of your life release and you liberate yourself from the prison that you have established for yourself. A prison of emotions, judgments, and thoughts, opinions, and beliefs. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Dee Dee asks, I've just lost my job, and the uncertainty and pain is great. While I work with higher realms closely, and I trust whatever happens is for my highest good, I want to know, will I be supported by higher realms to continue my spiritual service, as at the moment I have no way to support myself financially?
A deeper trust, a deeper surrender, and a deeper level of faith is being requested of you. A part of you has made that decision to move on this journey of exploration, of expansion, and of service. Yet another part of yourself was not ready, still operating in the old ways, operating in the ways that proclaim and promise safety, that promise an illusion of certainty. And here you are, as life has chosen for you. Embrace this moment. Embrace the pain. Embrace the release. Embrace the liberation and the freedom. Embrace the uncertainty. Trust that you will be carried. Trust that you will be supported, and that life has many possibilities available for you beyond your imagination, beyond your comprehension. You are the one to create the coming chapter of your life. Be present, be free, and be open to all that will arise. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Ingrid asks, how do I know if I can trust a person, a situation, or even my inner impulses? And is it correct that if I don't carry mistrust inside me, I won't encounter situations that would betray my trust?
You will learn to discern the levels of trust that are established by the mind, levels of trust established by the heart, by your physical body, by your energetic body. You will learn to understand there is a deeper level of discernment and alignment that provides for a resonance of a certain situation, a certain individual, a certain moment. You will operate from resonance rather than from trust of one of the aspects of your being. Understand that all these elements of your being can provide for beneficial experiences, for rational, for emotional guidance. Yet only the resonance within will drive you in the highest possible way. Every aspect of trust has the potential of bringing difficult experiences. This is the testing aspect of trust. Will you trust anyways, life? Will you trust anyways? Will you still be open with your heart and your mind? Will you allow life to provide for you? Always. This may seem irresponsible to some of you, and some of you will go on journeys and explorations to find how far they can trust, how far they can follow life to provide for them. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Inez asks, is the law of attraction real, and we as humans are the creators of our own reality?
Life as you know it and the reality that you observe is created partially by yourself. Many experiences are established through elements of your conscious, unconscious, as well as subconscious being. Many elements are established by your desire to experience certain experiences in life. Additionally, other creators will as well establish reality, and so reality becomes a co-creation of those actively, consciously, and unconsciously creating their versions of reality. As you can see, it is more complex than the mind can comprehend. Yet, one aspect to understand is you can become conscious and aware in which ways you create the reality in front of you. What are the important lessons to be learned and completed that through realization will no longer have to be manifested? What are the realizations that can be established so that you can become an active creator of your life, a manifester of experiences, or manifester of moments? The assumption under which the law of attraction operates is mostly correct. Adjustments are required to be made to those scriptures. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Tyler asks, you mentioned trust and faith in all of existence. Can you elaborate on this further? What exactly is meant by all of existence?
With all of existence, we refer to the provision and to the providing of this reality, of this experience. Part of you will trust this experience. Part of you will trust this reality, will trust nature, will receive from this reality, from this nature. Part of you will establish a mistrust of your environment, of nature, of existence. Existence in human form is indeed a gift. Will you trust this gift to provide you the most significant and important lessons of life, the most significant and important realizations of life, so that you, as an individualized soul, can grow, evolve, and expand, and eventually self-realize? Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Brendan asks, how do we have faith or trust with regards to dating, intimacy, and sex during COVID? How should we decide what's worth the risk?
Situations in life will always bring forth rational reasons and irrational reasons to trust or not to trust, emotional reasons to trust or not to trust, physical survival reasons to trust or not to trust. All of these elements of your life can be contemplated and argued to be the most significant aspect of your decision. Yet a deeper part of you knows, beyond the rationale, beyond the emotions, beyond the survival instincts, is an aspect of yourself that intrinsically knows the answer to your question. This part of you is ready to be discovered, is ready to be utilized, fine-tuned, and experienced at all times. Thank you for your question. Thank you for the time that you have reserved for this experience, for your awakening, for your ascension process, and for the awakening of humankind. Thank you for trusting, for joining and sharing this journey. It's truly a blessing to experience this together. And I look forward to seeing you again next time.
Welcome back, everyone. Take your time to come back into your body. Take any extra time you need in a sitting or lying position. Or stay in this state as long as you need to integrate. As we are coming back, I have a few gentle closing remarks. If you'd like to continue this journey, there are a few ways to do it. We have social media pages like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube that you can follow and share. You can invite family and friends and community to these bi-weekly sessions. You can join our Monday integration calls. We released our first book transmission, available on Amazon, and are in the midst of setting up a deep dive into various subjects covered in the book. These sessions are just one part of the work that we do. We also travel to both sacred sites and sites of global trauma to do energy alignment work. Once we are able to travel again, we will resume a tour through Europe and take a group of participants on a retreat to Greece. In the meantime, if you want to explore our previous sacred site adventures, we created a sacred site page, which is up on our website. This work is possible because of donations we receive. It not only supports Aseel, but it supports the whole production team. As you would imagine, it takes a village to bring the channel to this space and then beam it out to you all. If you find this of value, please consider supporting this session with a donation. There's 3 ways to do this. If you're in Crowdcast, there's a donate button at the bottom of your screen. There's also 2 donate buttons on the left-hand side of the homepage at aseeltoxal.com. You can donate via PayPal at paypal.me/ascension1, or you could become a Patreon patron at patreon.com/aseeltoxal. A quick reminder about the ending poll. In the beginning, we asked you how you were feeling. We'd like to ask the same question. Simply click on the poll button at the bottom of the Crowdcast screen. Go ahead and answer that now. If you want to share deeper about your experiences, we've created a community Zoom call, as mentioned, on Mondays. We also created an email address, testimonial@ascension.one. Energy work is felt in so many ways, and it's helpful for us to have an impact or have an understanding of how you're impacted. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for contributing your presence and your time and your questions. Despite being physically separated, when we gather in this way, I know we are in this together, and I feel the collective support we have for one another. Take it easy after the session. Give space for the energy to continue to work. If you can, keep your mind quiet. If you can't, bring this presence and peace to whatever it is that you need to do. I imagine you all as bright, shining beings right now, and that's really powerful.